When the Ten of Swords comes up in a reading, then it means that it is actually a very low point in someone's life. So it can be a situation that happened in the past, it can be a situation that they're experiencing now, or where they're headed. But it actually can't get any worse than it is. So even at this state, you can see in the card, the sun is rising. And this represents dismissal. The swords are stabbing the character, which shows loss and defeat, and is symbolizing failure and disaster. The black sky represents the darkness in the situation, but also the brightness shows that not all hope is lost. So the Ten of Swords can indicate a major disaster of some sort. It can also show that a certain force of extreme power has come to hit you in your life, and maybe it was unforeseen. So there is a sense of betrayal that's indicated in this card. The character is stabbed in the back. And this is a reminder that despite how much we try and how we cannot control everything, there are things that are beyond our ability to change. And this is a situation that is actually unavoidable. So when this card comes up, let your seeker know that, okay, this is actually unavoidable. It is part of your path, but you want to take a look at it and know that when the Ten of Swords comes up, it is a major disaster of some sort, and that this represents a powerful metaphor, one that is something chaotic, and one that represents the symbol of intellect. And we need to use intelligence and logic, and yet we're still at the final situation of the suit to complete it. And this is a total defeat of the spirit, because we must realize that the swords are a weapon that can have immense power for destruction or for good. And the story it unfolds from the ace to the 10 is one where the untrained individual uses this weapon for faulty reasons. So we all make mistakes, and then we spend our lifetime attempting to run away from the power that was misused. So this card teaches us that ruin can be unexpected when it occurs in the last sword card, and that our plans will not work out. It's a sign that these plans can be anything from vacations to career choices. It also represents that the failure can be quite complete, bringing loss and defeat to the seeker. And a lot of times, this is a karma card, and the seeker is receiving a karmic culmination of previous actions. So it is reaping the results of a situation that was handled badly. And at times, the card will simply represent defeat. That was not just because of the seeker's wrongdoing. So a good example is a breakup with your partner. Though it could be intensely painful, it can also be the beginning of a new sense of independence. So a lot of times this represents a battle that has been lost, and that the seeker's plans and projects won't happen, and it is coming to an end. So whenever this card comes up in a relationship reading, it's usually a sign that there's a breakup or a separation, that someone is living in sadness or grief or in pain. It's also a sign of infidelity. And in a career reading, this card represents a loss of a job, that there's office politics, maybe breakdown from stress and burnout. And in the upright reading, it represents, or upright reading it for finances, it represents financial loss. that an investment has failed. Um, so you want to take note of that. And the other thing is you want to take note in the card is if you take a look at the hands, he's got his two, or his one hand, his hand has his two fingers out, and that is a sign of peace, but also blessings. So whenever this card comes up, it's important that this is a time you look at as an ending and a beginning, because the Ten of Swords usually represents where the mentality is a poor me. You feel like there is nothing you can do, but it is the end, and the end of something means a new beginning. So it means let go of what you've lost. Focus on your new path, because that's where your life is meant to go.